Popular high-value male podcasters Fresh and Fit are receiving a lot of backlash after news broke that Fresh, aka Walter Weeks, supposedly got someone pregnant and wants no part of it. And after arguing about this with Fresh for weeks, it seems that Daisy has come to a decision. If you've been around on this channel for a while, or pretty much anywhere on the internet, you've most likely heard about the insufferable alpha male. It's pretty much this silly little meme where grown men will take a microphone and spread delusional ideas of how to mistreat women while simultaneously projecting their insecurities onto their audience. And nobody shows that better than the Fresh and Fit podcast.
We are not the same!
I've mentioned this in previous videos, but at one point I did not believe that people like this actually existed. Some of the thoughts they share on this podcast are wild. When coming across this podcast and other similar creators for the first time, it felt like discovering an entirely new species on this planet. Fast forward from 2020 until now, this seems to be much more well known. I've done quite a few videos on Fresh and Fit, Andrew Tate, and other alpha male / high value male podcasters. Oh, speaking of Andrew Tate, I want to add in a little update here. I've talked about him quite a few times over the years. It has just been released that Andrew Tate will stand trial on trafficking and charges. This one's according to CNN, but this has been over several different news outlets over the past few days. When more information is available, I'll provide an update on that. Additional to this, not much has been surprising when it comes to them anymore. At least, not until recently. Hello, before we get into anything else, I just want to let you know that I posted this video the other day and then I took it down shortly after to fix some audio and video quality issues. But I'm glad that I am re-uploading this video because there's a lot that I found out within the past 24 hours that I really want to go over that wasn't in the previous video. So if you've seen the previous video or only a portion of it, fret not because there's more information that'll be added in. So I'm coming in here again with a voiceover because after recording this, in fact, after almost being finished this entire re-edit, I found another huge update to this story, which we will get into towards the end of this video.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to keep the baby.
With that being said, let's get back into this video. For those of you who have never heard of the Fresh and Fit podcast before, this is Fresh and this is Fit, otherwise known as Myron Gaines and Walter Weeks. They are the two hosts of the Fresh and Fit podcast, where they declare their ideas on how men and women are not equal, how men should be able to sleep with tons of women, but women should be loyal and stick to one man. I'm not being hyperbolic, that's literally what they think.
If a girl is your girlfriend, she is your main woman, and she's advertising her body on the internet for other men to look at, that is cheating.
Men and women are not the same. Women like attention, men want. So my thing is, a man is capable of having sex with other women while still loving his girl the same.
You're actually saying that in a relationship, it's okay for men to go and explore other options, but we have to be happy with you and not explore options.
Absolutely. Closed on your end, open on my end, and I think there should be honest between the two.
Why? Why would anyone agree to that?
Fresh and Fit bring young women onto their show to pretty much use them as props or humiliate them. They have women surrounding the table with Myron, Walter, and sometimes a guest. From what I've seen, there always seems to be a pattern of having women on the show who are more naive and compliant, people who are much easier to put down or talk over. Fresh and Fit often looks for an echo chamber, and anybody who doesn't agree with something that Myron says or has an opinion that they don't like is going to end up being degraded on the show.
You're 35?
No, I'm saying I'll probably have a kid when I'm 35.
Ooh,
but right now,
that's risky.
I'm 23.
You know, at 35, your ability to bring a child to term is like significantly decreased, right? Like,
see, and if it doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen.
A life without children is vapious.
No matter what a woman on their show says, their words will be twisted to fit a narrative that suits whatever Myron is talking about that day. And then they will basically be made fun of on the show because, haha, stupid tiny girl brain can't understand what Myron is saying.
Guys are allowed to have standards. Guys are allowed to, you know.
You said it in your own words. Women are not designed to be promiscuous. They're designed to seek the best man that they can and get provisioning and security from that man. Men are designed to have sex with the most women that are most attractive and fertile for quantity. You want quality, we want quantity. I don't know why women can't get this through their fucking heads. We are not the same. We're attracted to different things. It is what it is. This is what I mean when I say women lack empathy.
When these podcasts would go viral, however, Fresh and Fit would receive far more pushback than they would with the women on their show, and this wasn't as easily controlled. Originally, they tried copyright claiming any video that had negative critiques of them, which yes, does go against YouTube's fair use. Unsurprisingly, that seemed to create even more backlash for them, which eventually led to what we have today, which is whatever the hell this is.
Unless she's worthy, you don't go meet her parents, okay? Remember, you're the prize, not her. She's bringing you to her family to show off. That's a privilege that she has to earn. Don't forget that. Women's value is 100% determined by the way that they look. All right, guys, girl asks your body count. What should you do? Now, what you should do is agree and amplify. Oh, 1,721 last time I checked. Ha ha ha.
Keep this in the back of your mind because it's funny for later.
I shouldn't have to say, cook for me when I come home from work. Or I shouldn't have to say, the place should be spotless when I walk in. Or I shouldn't have to say, keep your voice down when I'm around my friends and don't embarrass me about a loud, obnoxious bimbo. But the thing is that when a man has to go out of his way to tell a lady how to be a lady, she's no longer really a lady.
What cracks me up is that outside of their echo chamber, these guys are criticized by men too, which is hilarious to watch when it happens because you can see the embarrassment all over Myron's face when it's happening live.
You can't just go to Dan. I spoke to Dan. I spoke to Dan Balserian. Yeah, I'm sick of you asking to finish your long, boring answers that are the same answer every time we ask you a question. Even Dan Balserian last week told me to my face, so fucking what, clown? Here you are on the show. I can turn you off as well. Just turn these clowns off. See you fellas, grow up, ring us back when you're 30 and you've got half a brain. You're not running around being led by your own Bye-bye. See you later. Turn them off.
What I do is I assess things that need to be fixed. And from watching your show, I've been watching your show for a while, and I believe that you could relegate Fresh's contribution to the podcast to 4 buttons on your stream deck. That's my one critique.
In August of 2023, their channel was taken off of the YouTube Partner Program and was demonetized. This also meant that they could no longer receive donations from their viewers directly through YouTube. Despite this, they still have their podcast at least to this current day. It seems like they have moved to other platforms such as Rumble and other social media, however, they still post their lives on YouTube.
So I left a job that I truly loved to do this, right? Because I shouldn't be admitting this, but saving children, right? That was great, but saving you guys is better.
Oh boy, okay. I want to point out that Myron Gaines has written a book called Why Women Deserve Less. I unfortunately decided to get this book because I wanted to make a video critiquing it and, to be blunt, laugh at it because it's hilariously bad, but I never ended up doing that video. As I've mentioned in a community post prior to re-uploading this video, I was originally going to add in some critique of this awful, awful book, but I think I'm going to hold off until another video because there are so many updates to get through, it's already extended this video past an hour long. But there is a reason why I'm bringing this up. On the back of this book, it's stated that Myron Gaines used to be a Homeland Security officer. Homeland Security deals with all kinds of crimes, including but not limited to human trafficking and child exploitation. So let's play that clip again with this additional context added in.
Saving children, right? That was great, but saving you guys is better.
There's no way that this is real, right? Like, this has to be a character at this point. There's no way this guy could be this serious. Unfortunately, this does seem to be real. Whenever Myron seems to have his podcast or anything feel threatened, he gets mad and ends up either screaming and shouting or in tears, or sometimes both.
It's alright to cry. Crying takes the fat out of you.
But 90% of the time, when discussing the awful takes from the Fresh and Fit podcast, Myron will be the one criticized due to being the most vocal. It seems oftentimes Walter is piggybacking off of what Myron is saying or agreeing with him and not adding much value to the show itself. He's definitely the more quiet of the two, to say the very least.
And I said, I want commitment. I want you, like, and I want you to be faithful to me. That's all I want. No, but I want you to be faithful to me.
See, I can respect that. Now, Myron, please.
He can't even make a counter argument. He just tells Myron to respond.
When you deal with a certain caliber guy, you're not gonna get him to yourself. Like, I need to drill this in women's head. Like, yo, the more money and status a man has, the less likely he's gonna be faithful to you.
I want to say that, Fresh, you do ride on Myron's coattails. You know, you can't really have a show without Myron. You could have the show without you, though.
Looking back on my previous videos, I don't remember many times where I've mentioned Walter directly. For this podcast being a 50-50 split between Fresh and Fit, Walter seems more like a background character, if anything at all, at least during the main show. Looking into this, there was one significant time where Walter was heavily criticized instead of Myron. This was after posting a video titled How to Pull Girls Easily. This video now seems to be removed with only traces of it online via creators reacting to it, such as Moist Critikal. This is a video where Fresh, or Walter, talks about how he slept with so many women, and then he goes into a very unrealistic story about how he and an NBA player were sharing women.
All this time, you know, we linked up the same night at the party spot I was going to. We connected, and funny enough, we dated the same girls, like a bunch of them. It was crazy, you know. Like we always say, me and Myron, a lot of these girls share the same high-value men, and they're around in the same circles, right?
He has also bragged about sleeping with over 1,000 different women.
So, my honest to God truth body count, bro, no cap. You ready for it? It's over 1,000.
All right, guys. Girl asks your body count. What should you do? Now, what you should do is agree and amplify. Oh, 1,721 last time I checked. Ha ha ha.
It's your choice on whether or not you want to believe that. I will say that now in the year of 2024, Walter definitely has slept with at least one woman. He has had at least one sex. He allegedly got somebody pregnant. On April 4th, 2024, news broke that Fresh had allegedly gotten a woman pregnant. But for most people, this would not be worldwide news. Now, pregnancy, as far as I'm aware, is something that is a pretty common thing. What else is common is unexpected pregnancy, unfortunately. And more importantly, figuring out what to do when that happens. I think however somebody chooses to handle their pregnancy is their own personal business and whatever they decide is best for them. But this is a very unique situation because we have Fresh from Fresh and Fit, who has a reputation where this kind of ruins that, because their podcast always seems to be putting all of these high values onto their young male viewers, I guess. I'm assuming that's what their demographic is, because that's what their target demographic seems to be. Yet we have Fresh from Fresh and Fit saying that he doesn't want kids during a phone call and through text messages with somebody he allegedly impregnated. This is especially interesting when you find out that apparently this wasn't even a fling, not just a one-night stand. It very much clashes with the brand that Fresh and Fit is trying to promote, which is where a lot of the criticism is coming in, aside with the criticism for how he's treating her. Towards the end of Fresh and Fit's response to all of this, which we will get into more later, Fresh makes this statement, which, if I am correct, he's not directly saying it, but is implying that he and her were never boyfriend and girlfriend, or had any serious relationship.
Okay, I'll just say this. Just so it's indirectly gonna say what I'm gonna say right now. I made a statement on my vlog and on the show multiple times. And I said, this is a matter of fact, guys, look it up if you want to. I said, if a girl's on camera with me, she is what? Not my girl. Just keep that in mind. That's all I'm gonna say. If a girl's on camera with me, she's not my girl. Because if she's not, like for example, I'm gonna say this again, just so you understand. If I bring a girl on camera, she's not my girl. You'll never see my girl because I know what happens when you bring her on the internet. I'll never from experience. That's all I'm gonna say. All right. But said in the past before.
So if that is what he was trying to imply, then many texts and video clips state that he was lying. In a video by another channel known as Abba and Preach, which yes, in my original video I mispronounced, I apologize for that, they shared a screenshot of an alleged text message conversation between Daisy and Fresh that states this: "Whatever the distance is, please don't give up on us. And likewise, miss you so much. Miss you 24/7, it's scary. Come back sooner then. March. Yes, can't wait. Try to come back on March. You be a good boyfriend. I'll be waiting for my girlfriend." The woman Walter allegedly got pregnant goes by Daisy Chen on social media, or at least she did because her socials have since been deactivated. Could something fishy be going on, or could it be because Myron doxed her name and former place of employment in retaliation to coming out with this information?
At some point, enough is enough, right? And this girl's been running around, going on a bunch of different podcasts, trying to smear his name, the brand's name, etc. So it is what it is. It's over for you, Daisy, or as I should say, Chen, because I know your real name, by the way.
Now, apparently Walter's social media accounts are also gone, but I can't confirm on the timing of when these accounts were either deleted or potentially banned. There was also this post from a now deleted Twitter account seeming to be Daisy stating, "Yeah, take me down again," implying that perhaps her account was falsely striked or maybe hacked. Another account was floating around on Instagram claiming to be Daisy again and claiming that Walter hacked her account. One of the many creators who have interviewed Daisy is called Duke the Don. In the beginning of their interview, she actually stated this.
Do you know what they're saying next? What they're saying right now?
No.
So apparently there's a deleted Instagram account of you.
Yeah.
Apparently it was not deleted by them, but it was deleted by you previously.
No.
And
Okay, wait, before I want to say that I did not delete my Instagram because I spent so much time to build on that.
mm-hmm.
I would never delete my own Instagram. I had the 60K followers. And that's like, that's, you do social media, you understand how important that is.
To build that strong
Never ever delete my account. Yeah, so there's no reason. Why would I delete 3 of my accounts? I had 3 accounts, Instagram account. One was for business. It was like a fitness account, and one was like a main account. And then a few days ago, I created a backup account, and it was gone completely.
This would actually bring in more validation to those accounts claiming to be hacked to actually being her. And according to Duke the Don, there have actually been other women who were allegedly in the same situation. Maybe not the pregnancy part, but being silenced by having their accounts hacked and taken down, allegedly.
Yeah, they do that. There are girls who actually went on interviews after that because they called out Fresh and Fit in the past, and they talked about how their Instagrams were immediately deleted. So they have a way of doing that, and it's more for like silencing, scaring you to
No, that's not scaring me.
Yeah, good. That's good.
I ain't going anywhere.
Before we continue with the interviews that Daisy has been in, I want to dive into the situation regarding her pregnancy, specifically how this is not going over well with Fresh and Fit. As we continue throughout this video, there's a lot of accusations that Fresh and Fit has made against Daisy, and a lot of accusations that Daisy has made against Fresh and Fit. Due to each party being very confident that the other party is lying, and each party having a lawyer, it seems like eventually we're gonna have to see how this plays out in court. But we're gonna keep going over everything we can in this video, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on everything that's going on right now. This seemed more than just a one-night encounter the way that Fresh and Fit want you to believe it was. Daisy had shared alleged text message conversations between her and Fresh and evidence supporting her claims of being pregnant, despite Fresh and Fit claiming that her pregnancy could potentially be fake.
Yo, you're encouraging an abortion, etc. Bro, we don't know if it's even true. No, guys, what I'm telling you is that her pregnancy is questionable. She's lied a million times before, and she went ahead and recorded a phone call conversation for clout. Do you think this is behavior of someone that actually is pregnant? If you were really pregnant with this dude's kid, would you be doing a press run? Would you be calling in to get a reaction like that, fishing for a reaction like she did, as I showed you guys earlier? I don't know. I don't think most people that have any type of common sense.
I posted with my name because just to make sure I'm not faking it. This is the test of the result. It's positive, and I also had a STD test. I just have to make sure, he was somebody else as well without condom. Ultrasound? And this is the ultrasound. That's the ultrasound, and this is my name. Ultrasound. Nothing's fake. I can't fake all of these, you guys. I can't fake all of these. I went to a hospital for these.
Now, I know in that video it is a little blurry and you can't see much, but people have reposted this online. Now, is it possible that this could be photoshopped or fake? Maybe. I mean, that's always a possibility. But with the information that we currently have available, as well as the updates that I'll get into in a moment, I'm under the assumption that she is telling the truth about being pregnant, but the possibility is still always there. Reading the texts that have been shared on Daisy's Instagram before it was deleted, she sends a photo of the 2 positive pregnancy tests and a text that states, "You've always told me you've wanted me to be your baby's mother. mother. I loved you and did everything to be a good girlfriend. There was also another post on a Reddit forum that documented Walter introducing Daisy to his mother 4 months ago. Yeah, this wasn't just a one and done thing. There's another picture on Twitter as well showing the same thing. Another video re-uploaded to Twitter has him saying this.
This was a great trip. Happy to see my lovely Asian queen again. But, you know, as time passes, we must say farewells for a short period of time until she comes back. So, can't wait to see her back here in Miami. I brought her. No. Let me think.
But let's go over this with more detail. Despite Daisy's Instagram being deleted, the screenshots from her stories have been shared online, and this is what she had to say. This is a story between me and Walter Weeks, the podcaster known as Fresh, Instagram and YouTube, Fresh Prince CEO. I met him on November 21st in Miami, and I fell in love with him. We spent New Year's together, and that's the time he asked me to be his girl to commit to him, and he posted a video of us on social media. He said to me, "I love you. I don't want you to be with another man." A few days later, he asked me to meet his mom. Everything went well. I showed him and his mom my respect. He defended me on his podcast from the rumors. That's the moment I truly had fallen in love with him. But this is where the game began. I left Miami on January 8th, traveled back to China for Chinese New Year. The night before, we had a serious conversation. He said he sees me as someone he'd like to spend his whole life with, and I told him I was going to move to Miami for him. From then, we started a long-distance relationship for 2 months until I traveled to Barbados. I met his entire family there. He made everything so real that he is serious with me. I think that's what that said. Therefore, I am not on birth control, and we had behavior without protection. I was ready to have a baby with him and build a family. He asked me many times, "What if you get pregnant?" My answer towards him was always, "Yes, I want to keep the baby. I don't mind having a baby with you." She then posts a screenshot. "OMG, our kids are gonna look like them. They are so cute. LOL, I know." On March 12th, we traveled back to Miami together. At first, everything was fine. I stayed in his apartment. We had a mutual understanding that he is not a monogamous person, that me and him both need our own space, so I suggested him to help me rent an apartment. He said, "I want you to have things you want, as you understand me." 10 days later and a morning after, we had lunch with his sister. He broke his promises, that how he told me he loves me and that he wants to see it in the long term. He wants to plan a future with me. Instead of renting an apartment, better buy a new house, which I think he is completely lying and making excuses about it. He used me, hurt me. He was a cheater, a huge gamer. I only found out about this later and started to take his haters' words. When people told me negative things about him in the beginning, I always stood by his side and supported him and believed in him. I chose to believe my partner instead of the audience. The truth is that he pretended to be a high-value man, to date girls, then ditch them. The reason why I'm exposing this is because as a woman, I want to stand up for other women. I don't want any other girls ending up like me. I'm in a strange country all alone. If I don't expose this, he will continue doing that to other naive girls. There will be more women getting hurt. After a few days, he asked me to move out. He stopped coming home. He disappeared for 3 nights without an explanation. I called him and he never answered. When I did nothing wrong, when I was so genuine, I left my work behind in China pursuing this relationship. So I moved out and booked the first flight to New York City. On March 30th, I had a pregnancy test. It's positive. Here's what happened. "You always told me you wanted me to be your baby's mother. I loved you and I did everything to be a good girlfriend. Now this is happening. You walked away. I think I want to keep the baby. I don't want to end its life. I want you to think carefully and take the responsibility." He says, "I'll call you shortly. Take your time." They then have a phone call, which we will get into in a moment. "I can't have kids. Take responsibility for your actions." What's this? Read it. It's a blood test. Pregnancy blood test. I know, but what does it mean? I don't understand the numbers. 3 to 4 weeks, the doctor says. Oh, okay. It's our baby and you want to end the life of our baby. You are not being a good human. It's not about that right now. It's not good and a lot is happening, especially now business may be over. I underline this because I find this extremely interesting for him to just throw in there. I don't want kids right now and we spoke about it and you agreed. I never agreed. I agreed based on your actions. You are not educated if you keep inside of me. I will get pregnant. I don't get pregnant without your behavior. Words mean nothing. Man up. I'm not saying I want to be with you. I don't, because you are nothing to me. But the baby is innocent. You should have a kid with someone you were in love with, in the same household. It won't be what you expect. Man up. I'm telling you now so you know. I don't expect anything anymore since we are not together. I got pregnant with you when I was in your house and when I was in love. You wanted to have the baby. If you didn't, you wouldn't in me. Be logic and be a man. I didn't get pregnant by myself. It's not fair for the baby. What are you saying? We are not together and we won't be. Why would that be good for a kid? So why did you keep inside me. Also, things happen and yes, feelings change, but bringing a kid into this world without both parents' love is cruel. We both thought you wouldn't get pregnant. It was a joke. All I'm saying is that you should take responsibility for what you did. I am a victim in this relationship and I'm carrying your baby. You act like that you don't care and that you don't want nothing. Also, now I'm worried I have to test other girls. At least 4. Another girl? 4 girls? You're saying that you had 4 girls without protection? I hope you have all the money for your child support. You finally admit that you're trash. I don't have money. Good luck. LOL, you will see. Fresh from Fresh and Fit, the high value male standard, is admitting he's broke after having an entire podcast dedicated on how people shouldn't be broke? Nobody cares about your money. Good. Also, I know you don't want to raise a kid by yourself. You need a man that's going to be there with you. We aren't even together. Forget the money part. I want to keep the baby. I will raise it by myself. But you'll have to take the responsibility. I don't need a man. I especially don't need a man like you. Why do you want a kid with someone like me? It makes no sense, but okay. Because I'm not a kid. And when I was with you, I loved you. Because I only realized now I was with a wrong person, then you lied to me. Does this make sense? I thought you were smart. Say less. I didn't lie to you. It's not about being a It's about doing what's best for us and also a child. It would be very selfish to bring a kid into this world without fully committed parents. Neither of us are ready to deal with something like this. It's selfish to make me pregnant, leave me, and lie to me. I'm not selfish, you are. You should worry about the other 4 girls you've slept with now. Learn from your lesson, cause I learned mine from you. He said on the phone there's no reason to meet and discuss further. He refuses to have an adult conversation in person. He asked me to take pills and deal with it alone. He doesn't even want to show up and be a real man to take responsibility under his behavior. Now I'm warning all girls, stay away from this man. He is dishonest and a liar. Now I ask you please, stand by me and help me to expose him in order to protect more women. I have suffered many days before I've decided to tell everyone what happened. I need to help other girls know his true colors. And ladies, please protect yourself. There are a few things that confuse me with this. This isn't necessarily to put any blame on her for knowing or not knowing how he was going to turn out, because you can't control another person's decisions or mindset, and you can't predict what they're going to do in every situation, even if you think that you know them. But what confuses me is that she was aware of this Fresh and Fit podcast. She was on the podcast before. She mentions him not wanting a monogamous relationship in the beginning, so I guess I'm confused on why she's surprised by this. Now, Daisy has been interviewed by many channels, including a channel called Abba and Preach. I'll leave their video linked in the description below, along with many other videos we will be discussing today. In that interview, she said this.
Then I asked her, well, why do you not want to be intense about monogamy, but you are rushing to have a kid?
I just feel like I'm not that type of girl that I have to be with someone for years to get married. Or if I like someone, I can have a kid with him for like a week. Like, it doesn't matter. The time doesn't matter. I was with someone for 9 months. He really wanted to marry me. He's American. And I didn't want that. I ended that. When I met Walter, I just felt like, wow, there's so much chemistry.
I have to be honest, from what I understand, this sounds like an unexpected or unplanned pregnancy, which is a very common thing. The concerning part is her stating that she wanted to have a baby with him despite only being with him for a short period of time. Now, we don't know the intimate details of their relationship or what they had done together for her to feel so strongly about this, but in my opinion, this sounds like an impulsive decision. And what I mean by that is not accidentally getting pregnant. If that's what happened, I'm talking about the decision to want to have a child with him so soon. She also provided text messages that stated this. On December 15th, it says, "Not pregnant, no baby. Oh, did you do a pregnancy test? My period just came. And 5 days ahead. You play a good game. Oh, okay, I see. What game? This game, on the bed. I'm confused. Just kidding. I meant that you're safe, just letting you know. Next time, I won't be so lucky." Oh, I wasn't worried. I didn't want to pull anyway, but that's good that you got your period. So are you being a dick? I didn't reject you because I don't mind being pregnant with you, baby. No, I'm saying I like you a lot, and once you're happy, I'm happy. So if these text messages are legitimate, he's being just as irresponsible in the situation. Going back to him on the podcast versus the relationship that they've had, I would like to imagine that most women would immediately find plenty of red flags within people like this, but there are always women out there who might not see them, unfortunately. Maybe it's possible that he did tell her that everything said on the show is a lie just to keep a romantic relationship with her. But I personally have no idea, as I was not there for their personal conversations to determine whether or not something like this was even said. So really, that's just speculation. You can tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. All we have to go off of right now is what is being said here, what has been said in streams, and the response that Fresh and Fit had given. Another post made on Daisy's Instagram stories shows an alleged conversation between herself and another woman that was allegedly with Fresh. They responded saying, "Babe, I was with him in December." She wrote, "Make an STD test ASAP. I did it when I was with him. He only admitted today that he had sex with other women without protection." This person allegedly stated, "We didn't use protection and he and me multiple times. I've been tested and I'm clean. Are you okay, love? I'm so sorry he did this to you. I didn't know about you. I was staying with him in mid-December," which does overlap with the time that Daisy was allegedly in a relationship with Fresh. After all of this information came out, the phone call was also leaked online. We will be going over what Fresh and Fit have to say later in this video. However, there's something I need to mention now. Florida is considered a two-party consent state, which basically means before recording somebody's voice, both parties need to consent to that. In other words, it's illegal to record somebody's voice without their knowledge or consent. Not every state has these laws, but Florida does happen to be one of them, and it does not matter if the other person knows about it or not, it's still considered a crime to do so. That being said, I'm not sure if I'm even allowed to post the recording of the phone call that has been going around on the internet. Instead of playing the recording, I'm going to read you everything that was said, and if you're interested in hearing the recording, you can find it out there online. Walter says hi, and then Daisy says, "I want the baby because I don't want to kill the baby. I don't want to kill nobody. I don't want to." He says, "You're not. They're just going to give you a pill and then it's over." No, I'm pregnant." "No, but that's what I'm saying. The pill, they just give it to you from the doctor and then you're good." "I am pregnant. I can't pretend like nothing happened. I can't. In my religion, we don't kill. You're not killing." "Okay, I want to keep the baby." "Okay, well, like I said, I just don't want any kids." "Okay, so what are you gonna do, and what are you gonna do to me?" "Nothing. Why would I do anything to you?" "Nothing? Why would I do anything to you?" "No, I know. So, like, how are you gonna deal with this? By saying I don't want a baby, that's all?" "I mean, you could go to a doctor, I guess." "To the doctor? So you want an abortion?" "I mean, yeah, why would you want a kid now? And why do you make me pregnant now?" That's why I'm like, there's no way that's true. But then I said, oh wow, like, so think about it. It's meant to be. God wants you to have the baby. Definitely, huh? It is. God wants you to have a baby. 7 years never happened, and then you're in a relationship and you're effing me for a month and I'm pregnant. What does that mean? He says, "Well," and then she cuts him off saying, "Now I just think about if, like, you force me to kill a baby, then you are a sin." And then he says, "Well, we already sinned by having sex, but it's too late now, you know?" The call goes on for longer, but at this point it seemed like it was cut off. It's very clear that Walter does not want to have kids, and he does not seem to be interested in helping raise a child that he potentially had part in creating. I say potentially and allegedly because at this point they're claiming that it may not even be a real pregnancy. Meanwhile, she has sent pictures of pregnancy tests, blood work, and ultrasounds. She's very adamant about definitely being pregnant. Let's dive into some other discrepancies. There was also a YouTube channel called Just Tree 411 who did an interview with Daisy where she goes over the situation and also claims that Fresh told her that he lied about his body count being over 1,000 women.
I'm just saying,
No,
like,
he told me though. He also told me that's made up.
oh, he told you that he made that up.
Yeah. What is that? 1,000 body count?
It's over 1,000.
All right, guys. Girl asks your body count. What should you do? Now, what you should do is agree and amplify. Oh, 1,721 last time I checked. Ha ha ha.
I'm like, because I noticed that's a lie before, but I just asked him to see where he's at. What he wanna, say, and he told me it's not even real. Nobody believed him anyway.
And he said the reason why he's an expert on this is because his body count is 1,000. And nobody believes this. Not ABBA, not me. Like, a lot of people don't believe this.
What's also really funny is that while looking into this, it was pointed out that Walter was also on a sugar daddy website. This is a screenshot from over 2 years ago, so I don't know how accurate it is, if he is still using this or not, but I find it absolutely hilarious that this even exists, considering he's trying to give advice on how to pull girls to other people. I thought you were good at pulling girls. Why do you have to go on a sugar daddy daddy website. What the fuck? Daisy also made an appearance on the Fresh and Fit podcast on January 3rd, 2024. This is not where Fresh and Daisy had met, however. They knew each other before this, and it was actually Fresh who asked her to come onto the show.
What about you?
Actually, Konnichiwa.
What about you? Name, age?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Hi everyone, my name is Daisy and I just turned 28.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
I'm from China,
What part of China?
Shanghai.
Bless you.
Bless you, bless you.
In a recent live stream done by the H3H3 podcast, Daisy supposedly sent over more text messages exchanged between herself and Walter, with this being, in my opinion, a very critical detail to include. I know what you mean. I just take action usually, and we are doing all of that and more. Hope you can handle me. I certainly did. I went easy on you. When you come back, I won't. I can't wait to, inside my... She sends a smiley face and says, protection next time. If you like me and care a little. And it was cut off by the screen from H3H3. He says, I do, but it's not the same. What's not the same? If these texts are real, which at this point I'm assuming they are, she expressed wanting protection, and he whined and said it's not the same. First of all, how immature and irresponsible do you have to be at nearly 30 years old to say something like this? She wasn't on birth control either, and he was supposedly aware of that as well. Before we get into Fresh and Fit's response prior to this H3 interview, I do want to share some information that was revealed during that interview with Daisy, as well as the previous interview. Daisy claims to be a very successful person who comes from a wealthy background. She also claims that Myron and the Fresh and Fit podcast called her an escort.
You know who you really are now. You're involved with escorting, potentially, right? Allegedly.
Now, here's something interesting I think we should take a look at. In Fresh and Fit's response, they claim that she has lied about a lot of things, including not being an escort. In other words, they claimed that she said she wasn't an escort, but they believe that she is.
So let's go ahead, and she said she's not a sex worker, she's not an escort. Okay, what's this? In this photo that you guys can see here, we can see Chen meeting up with a potential client. Okay, I'm not gonna say where this was, but what I'm about to show you guys is all exclusive stuff that no one else has, okay? But it's an anonymous source. This is a photo of her meeting up with a guy, and it gets better. We got video and audio. Run the clip.
If you call me an escort, prove it. Prove it.
They then share a photo of a woman that they claim is her, and then they share a video clip of a woman with her back facing the camera talking to somebody about providing certain services for money. They claim that this woman is Daisy.
Honestly, the onus is on you to make this experience wonderful so that I will want to see you again.
Okay, so let's get started.
Are you sure?
Check it on the podcast right there. But wait! There's more, guys. There's more. She's been running around saying that she's not an escort, etc. No, I don't do this, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I'll let you guys decide what you think after seeing that, okay? Obviously, you guys can see here, that sounds like negotiating for something. I don't know what particularly. Right? But I think we all know kind of what it may or may not be, right?
However, on the H3 podcast, when Daisy was interviewed, this is what she had to say in response to that.
Well, I don't mind because it's been all over the internet, you know, like, because I went on different shows. I already explained myself what happened. You know, it's not me, first of all.
It's not you.
It's not me. Also, go to Duke the Don. Go to his YouTube. He explained pretty well. He did a whole investigation about how is this so ridiculous and doesn't make sense. They made AI voice, and I don't know how they got that video.
Oh, that is possible in this day and age.
And what she's saying here is actually true. When she was on the other live stream with Duke the Don, he actually showed the audience and her how easy it is to replicate somebody's voice through AI.
Especially now that we're moving into the future with AI getting better, I want y'all to know how easy it is for people to fake evidence like this, right? Where, especially when you're seeing a heavily edited video with multiple clips here and everything, even the conversation doesn't seem like it matches, okay? You got to start really figuring out how to discern what's real and what's fake, because it's getting very, very easy to fake stuff like this. All right, because you couldn't deny, even in that video, that was your voice, but that wasn't you. And people wonder, well, how would your voice be on there? Because that's what the fanboys are saying. Well, how could her voice be on there and saying what she's saying? It's that easy. I can make Daisy say anything. I can go and record anybody else's voice and make them say anything.
See, when I saw the stream, when they did the show, I understood that, and I posted on Twitter they're using AI.
Yeah.
Anybody that can tell that's edit.
I'm trying to be as fair as possible when I say this. When I look at this information, I do think that it's very possible that her voice could have been faked with AI. I also think it's important to mention, however, that just because it is possible, it isn't definite proof that that is what happened. There are a few things that make me question the legitimacy of this video that Fresh and Fit had shared, especially when you do look at the fact that she has a tattoo and this person in the video didn't. She's looking away from the camera the entire time. The conversation sounds odd and unrealistic. It's important to just point out that there are two very conflicting stories that are each equally confident that the other is wrong. With AI constantly growing more and more realistic and intense, it's almost impossible to trust anything you see anymore as evidence.
This photo says Jack. Is this you, this photo?
No.
It's not even you.
No,
It kind of...
no.
It does look different. I mean, when you look at the face, you kind of think, that may not be you. So do you think that they created this?
I have no idea.
One thing that I did notice is that I'm pretty sure Daisy has a tattoo on her back shoulder, and in the video of this woman, there was no tattoo. Granted, this video was supposedly from 2018, and I'm not sure when Daisy got her tattoo, but additionally to that, she said that she didn't even speak English in 2018.
First of all, skin enrichment does not exist in China. It's illegal, okay? It's illegal, this whatever it is, website or application. And also, 2018, I do not speak in English. Why would I speak English in China?
True.
If I was meeting a potential client, why would I speak in English?
So basically, she denies this picture being her, she denies this video clip being her, and claims that it's possible that they used an AI version of her voice to allegedly falsify evidence to slander her. That's a really big claim to make. If what Daisy is saying is true, she most likely does have a pretty decent defamation case. On the contrary, however, it seems like Fresh and Fit are very confident that they are the ones that have a defamation case ready against her. I'm torn between the idea that Fresh and Fit can't possibly be dumb enough to falsify evidence against her like this, knowing the consequences of that, but I also see them as malicious enough to do that if they really wanted to. They've already lied about quite a few things in the past, including things regarding Daisy, and to be fair, Myron was dumb enough to continuously spew out a lot of information regarding this situation despite his lawyer advising him to shut his mouth about it.
I don't have to sit here and shit on my friends in front of you guys.
When I first came on, before we started recording, and I spoke with the two of you briefly, I said to both of you that I think that the less that's said about this, the better from a legal perspective. There's a script that I often give to clients, which is I have no specific recollection of any wrongdoing, although I acknowledge mistakes may have been made. I'd like to move forward past this unfortunate incident. You should write that down. You know, I will tell you, there's a reason why you guys are excellent communicators. You have a great point of view. It's why I was a fan before I was your counsel.
More Myron.
But I got to tell you, man, you're killing me right now. You're killing me with what you're saying right now. Because again,
I'm sorry, man.
From an entertainment and a reality perspective, I love it. Preach, my friends. But now is not the time to unleash the Kraken here.
I'm done.
We've got there's a lot being said right now, and I appreciate, Walter, that you are taking my advice and you are not saying it, but we are going down roads that we do not need to go down right now. There will be time. As I've said now 4 or 5 times in this conversation, revenge is a dish best served cold.
My honest opinion is at this point, I really don't know what to think of this situation. They're trying to use this as a way to say she's lying about being an escort, so she's lying about the pregnancy and can't be trusted. But even if she was an escort, that doesn't mean she can't get pregnant by somebody. At this point, due to the evidence being questioned, I don't really have a solid opinion on this escort situation, but you can let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Despite this, they have shared a lot of information and a lot of claims. They have also claimed that she is an escort, as mentioned previously, and that she was seeking money from them while simultaneously stating that she came from a wealthy family, essentially contradicting their own statements. They also bring up her being fired from a job in 2018, as well as making claims that she had committed fraud. This would obviously paint her character into a negative light that would make her less credible.
We found out that you got fired from your job, okay? Here's where you used to work for, right? For a marketing company, you were a marketing manager, Daisy. And we had the documents to show that you got fired and why you got fired. Again, this is all in Chinese, but guess what? My boy We Rise, once again, aka Chinaman, the guy that I play Overwatch with and we rage together when we destroy these scrubs. He went ahead and translated for you guys.
Unlike Myron in this podcast, I've decided to redact her name and ex-place of employment.
Since July 2nd, 2018, and your current job as a business assistant, the 3-year labor contract signed between you and the company on July 2nd, 2018 shall be terminated on August 3rd, 2018, and the employment relationship shall be terminated at the same time due to the following circumstances. What else was going on in 2018 when she got fired from her job around this time? Oh, she was stealing money and negotiating for fun with people in rooms, which we showed a video of earlier. Oh, interesting. Very interesting.
The worker is proved to be ineligible for employment during the probationary period. The worker seriously violates the rules and regulations of the unit. The employee is seriously derelict in his duties or commits fraud for personal gain, causing major damage to the company. The employee establishes labor relations with other employers at the same time, which is a serious impact on the completion of the work of the employer or refuses to make corrections upon the company's requests. The personal certification materials provided by the employee to the company are false, or the company concludes or renews the labor contract contrary to its true intention by coercion or taking advantage of the danger of others. The worker is investigated for criminal responsibility in accordance with law. After the expiration of the medical treatment period, the worker cannot engage in the original job or the work arranged by the company. The worker is not competent for the job and is still incompetent for the job after training or job adjustment. There is a major change in the objective circumstances on which the labor contract is concluded, making it impossible to perform the labor contract, and the two parties cannot reach an agreement on the change after negotiation between the parties. Other circumstances provided by laws and administrative regulations. Please go to the company's personal administration department before August 6, 2018, or go through the resignation process such as a work handover, return of goods, and settlement of expenses and remuneration.
So what does this all mean, guys, right? Obviously they had to formally get rid of her and list out why, but obviously we got fraud, using fake documents to get the job, exploiting the company's resources. We actually heard from the boss that fired her that she stole money from the company. So not only was she engaged in nefarious activities that may or may not include work, she's stealing from clients, right? They file police reports on her. She's getting fired from jobs because she's stealing from them too.
Regardless of these documents, at the end of this clip, he does say, "Is this somebody who you would believe?" which implies that he is trying to cast doubt on her character due to these circumstances.
Is this someone that you guys would believe?
This is what she had to say in response to that.
There's more. And he said I got fired because I was stealing from the company. And also they provide my business card. I did work in a PR company in 2018, but nothing like what they were saying. I was stealing from the company or I have a criminal record. Nothing. None of that.
One thing I will say, and I don't know if this was just a miscommunication, is that in the other interview with Just Tree 411, this is what was said.
Myron said this file was talking about how I got fired by stealing company's money. That form says nothing about that.
What?
He said I steal company's money.
But the form says nothing about stealing money. But is that form connected to you in any kind of way?
No, I don't
so
know.
It's not. So the form is not connected to you. It's not about you. And what he said is because you read Chinese, so you would know what it says. And he says that it says that on the paper that whoever's on there stole money, but that's not what it says in Chinese.
It's not.
It confuses me a little bit because it implies that this form that was written was not about her, but when the form was translated into English, it allegedly provided her name and place of employment. So I don't know if the story is getting mixed up here, or if what she meant was, no, this isn't true, not, no, this isn't about me. This was also brought up in the interview with Duke the Don as well, and this is what she had to say.
That contract doesn't say anything about why I got fired and how I got fired. You know, none of that, and that is like, I don't know how they even get that.
Yeah.
You know, the only thing that's real was the business card. That was my business card. I did work in like a PR company.
Okay.
But just to think, if I had any transaction with this guy, why would I give my personal business card with my name, with my real phone number? That doesn't make sense. It's like if you're going to rob someone, you're going to give them your real name, passport, ID.
To me, it basically comes down to either a miscommunication or somebody lying. I'm not trying to nitpick here or anything like that, I just wanted to make it abundantly clear that this does confuse me a little bit. Aside from all of this, however, even if this entire document is true, 2018 was 6 years ago. There's no evidence that either of these things would have an effect on her potentially being pregnant. It's just that Fresh and Fit are hell-bent on using these examples as a way to make it seem as though she is lying about being pregnant, which, like I said, at this point, time will tell if she's telling the truth or not. And even if everything that happened in 2018 is true, I still believe her to be telling the truth due to the evidence that she provided, such as the pregnancy tests, the blood tests, and the ultrasound. Now, there is a possibility that that evidence could be fabricated. It's also possible that the evidence Fresh and Fit provided could be fabricated. But what leads me further into believing that she is actually pregnant is Fresh's own response directly to her, basically begging her to get an abortion, instead of turning this into a huge thing about how he doesn't actually believe her. Let's get back in the Fresh and Fit's response. Myron loses his mind at the very end of the podcast, breaking things. You could see glass flying and shattering. This is all on camera, by the way.
It's on my soul. I stand with my fucking friends. Period. Alright? Some of you motherfuckers need to get a spawn, you jellyfish SpongeBob in the fucking pineapple house, pieces of shit. Oh, no! I'm gonna stand by the guys that stand by me, cause you fucking pieces of shit aren't fucking there when I'm going through it. You pieces of shit aren't fucking there when I'm fucking figuring out what the fuck I'm gonna do because we got demonetized. You motherfuckers weren't there when everyone in their fucking mom came at us. You motherfuckers weren't there when I got the false accusation against me. You motherfuckers weren't there when this bitch lied and said that I got her pregnant when I did it. And then you dumbasses 3 years later believe some bitch that makes the same fucking allegations again. You idiots! I'm not going anywhere. I'm standing right here. Alright? These guys were with me in my darkest times. I'm not gonna leave them in their darkest times. You motherfuckers. I got my real estate, I got my money, I'm fine. I'm not going anywhere. I can't be bought.
That was real.
Just so you know, I didn't add that horn effect in there. They added that in themselves. They saw this as a mic drop moment instead of an embarrassment. Meanwhile, Fresh, or Walter, is sitting there so quietly like his parents are arguing with the principal over him getting suspended. This is not a high-value male. This is a cowardly man-child. Take some responsibility for your actions. And when I say that, I'm not talking about making a public PR apology or statement or taking accountability or anything like that in a social media type of way, because this delves into real life and not just one person's life, but the potential of an entirely separate human being coming into this world affected by you because you helped create that, allegedly. And here's the thing, whether you decide that you're going to be present or not in this situation, if everything that's being said is true, it looks like you're gonna be a father. Or is he? Because this story has another huge update. After this back and forth has been going on between Daisy and and fresh for the past 2 weeks, I've decided to make a video talking about the situation, but removed it to fix the audio and video quality issues, and just a few hours ago, after I had already fixed and re-recorded most of my video, I've stumbled upon this video completely by accident. This short live stream is on Duke the Don's channel, who I have mentioned earlier in this video. While editing, I found this live stream unintentionally while looking for the interview to add in clips that I've mentioned earlier. In this new video, after weeks of Daisy sharing how she was planning to raise the baby by herself, how it's against her religion to quote-unquote the baby, even saying she was going to name the baby Abba after being interviewed by Abba and Preach, who from my understanding is like a nemesis to the Fresh and Fit podcast, she has actually decided that she will not be, quote, keeping the baby.
You guys know that I've been pregnant since March 1st. I've shown you all the receipts. I mean, there's no way I can fake it. And it's also, there's a document about doctor's announcement. So as you know, that's no way I can fake it. So I swear to my family that the pregnancy is true and the baby is precious. It's his baby, okay? Because all the stress that's been going on for the past month, it caused me a lot of emotional damage. And I've been starting feeling a lot of panic and like it's just like a lot of going on. Like, you know, every time I'm public, I'm just trying to get myself together and trying to be positive and to show you guys and show other women like a good example that we are strong. Even though we're going through some kind of situation in life, life is not always perfect. I've been planning to keep myself healthy, you know, taking supplements in order to get pregnant, in order to plan our baby with Walter Weeks. So I actually manifest this baby and God gave me the baby. So can you imagine, I was very emotional when I had a video call with him, when I had a voice call with him. I was actually very emotional because God actually gave me the baby. God gave me what I want. Of course, I wasn't going to like, I'm not going to kill my baby because I planned the baby with him. But just everything, like after everything's going on, like really, like I'm not going to be a single mother. I don't want my baby grow up without a father. Even until now, he's not showing up. I asked him to do a DNA test. I asked him to speak out. He refused. Instead, he's been acting like a child on the show and playing a song like celebrating me being single mother. But you guys, you're not gonna get away with this because I'm not gonna be a single mother. I'm not letting my child grow up without a father. That's not fair. So yeah, I'm not gonna be able to keep the baby.
So yeah, it sounds like she's going to terminate her pregnancy. First and foremost, I want to say that when it comes to pregnancies, as I'd mentioned earlier in this video, what the mother plans to do is her business and her decision. It's not my place to say whether or not she should get an abortion, because that's a huge decision that comes with a lot of traumatic experiences. When it comes to her decision, all I can say is I hope she chooses what's best for her, not anybody else but her, and that she is safe. With that being said, there is a lot of he said, she said in this entire story, and a lot of really big claims that haven't been 100% proven by either party, which ultimately leads to questioning everything. But when it comes to somebody getting an I feel really uncomfortable questioning things because it's such a delicate and personal decision that does bring a lot of trauma, and I don't want to make a situation like that any worse than it is. However, because this has been blasted all over social media for the past few weeks, she's done multiple interviews and stayed very consistent throughout the entire time of, quote, keeping the baby, I wouldn't be providing a fair coverage of this story without asking what happened. The thing is, I don't know what happened. We don't know what happened. And a lot could have happened to change change her mind. If I'm being honest, this probably wouldn't have been the best situation to bring a life into. She was also in the very early stages of pregnancy. In the first trimester, even without being stressed out, which she said she has been, obviously, women can miscarry, even the healthiest women. And I'm not saying she miscarried, by the way. She seems like she is going to terminate the pregnancy. And the reason why I'm saying this is because Fresh and Fit and their audience have been denying the legitimacy of her pregnancy since all of this started, even with the evidence Daisy has provided. And already the comments on this live are being filled with people who don't believe her anymore because she's not keeping the baby. I expect the same reaction would have occurred if it were a miscarriage. Hell, even if she did give birth to the baby and that baby came out looking like Fresh's clone, I'm willing to bet some would still deny it because Fresh and Fit have been denying it on their podcast. I personally at this time do believe she is or was pregnant. She provided evidence including screenshots and recordings of Fresh talking about having unprotected sex with her. But there were a lot of confusing and uncertain points in this story as we've gone over in this video. On top of that, I'm left wondering why she did change her mind after being so adamant about keeping this pregnancy because not doing so would go against her religion. But like I said, a lot of factors could affect someone's decision regarding their pregnancy, even if that person is religious. At the end of this video, she also mentions possibly creating a GoFundMe for other women who go through the same situation, or if not a GoFundMe, some sort of charity.
So we are now creating a charity. We are going to do donation to the other women that's out there who needs help. Because even for some teenager girls, maybe they're in the same situation as me and they can't tell their parents and they're jobless what they're gonna do. Because, you know, I think we are going to set a GoFund. I'm not gonna keep anything for me because I don't really need the money, because I just want to help the other women out there. I want to help the community that's out there who's going through the same situation as me.
I really don't know how to feel about that. And I have a feeling this isn't the last we're going to hear about this situation, especially if lawyers are involved and this progresses into some sort of lawsuit. Again, all of these are my thoughts based off of everything we currently know about the situation. Both parties in this situation seem to be highly confident that the other is lying. When it comes to the things that happened in 2018, I honestly have no idea if she is telling the truth or not. I have no idea if Fresh and Fit is telling the truth or not. There is a claim that AI may be used in this situation to push a slanderous narrative. And as I've warned in previous videos, this is now the reality we live in, where we can't even trust video anymore, or in this case it seems like audio, because of how realistic AI can be. But I also think it is a big accusation to say that they are using AI to create a false slanderous narrative against her. And due to lack of additional detail, I really can't form a solid opinion on that. Similarly, with the accusations of her getting fired for stealing money and acting in fraudulent ways, the details of that situation also seem to be confusing. But as I've mentioned, even if everything that they claimed that happened in 2018 is true, that doesn't mean she can't get pregnant, and that doesn't automatically mean she's lying about being pregnant. During the text messages and the phone call, Fresh has admitted to sleeping with her and having relations with her. It seems as though he was trying really hard to downplay their relationship, even though there is photo and video proof of them being together and even being with Fresh's mother, and she goes into more detail about this in the interviews she was in. But I think that's where I'm going to end the discussion for today. Also, I just want to throw in a little tiny micro update here, because originally I was going to do a mashup before the end of this month and I don't know if I'll have that out. I just wanted to let you know a little update on how things are going. Over the past few months, I've had a lot of health stuff going on, and while I don't know the answers to everything right now, things are going pretty okay. I'm doing well. Everybody is doing good. I just wanted to give you that little positive update here at the end of this. So before we go, I want to add on to the update that I had already given when I first uploaded this video. So as I've mentioned in my previous video, the reason why I'm re-uploading this is due to some audio and visual quality issues, specifically with the points of me talking on camera. I hope that I have been able to fix that. There were some settings on here that I hope have made it so that way it doesn't seem like my voice is out of sync. If you do notice that my video and audio is still out of sync when my face is on the camera, or if you notice any glitching, please let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much if you made it all the way to the end of this video. Thank you so much to everybody supporting me over on Patreon, and thank you so much to anybody who has given me a super thanks. I really, really appreciate it. With that being said, I'll see you soon. you.